Morning! We just parked up in Grange, Borrowdale, where today we're just doing a small hill, Castle Crag. That's it there ahead of us. And then we're going to have a little wander round what Wainwright described as the loveliest square mile in the Lake District, the Jaws of Borrowdale. Just me and the rock star today. Head out the village, take the signpost to Seatoller and head down here. From the river, across that little footbridge and head into Broad Slack Gill. There's two footpaths. One will drop you down by the side of the river, that's the way we're going to come back, and this one will take you up into the gill below Castle Crag. To our right we've got Nitnors and Low Scordale, eventually leading you up to High Spy. Straight ahead of us through the trees we've got Castle Crag. So far up Broad Slack Gill, we're going to turn left and start heading up Castle Crag. Just here. There is only really one way for a walker to the summit of Castle Crag, and this is the way. So the summit is an out and back, although we don't come back this way, we drop down the other side of that ridge. So start heading up here. Billy's going to go through the hole. We can't get through there. We're going to pass a nice little bench on our right hand side if you fancy a coffee break. Head up through the gate. Head under this little tree branch and onto the footpath up to the summit. Castle Crag, incidentally, is Wainwright's smallest fell on his list. In fact, it's a tiny fell, 290 metres. The summit also has a war memorial on it, just like Great Gable. There's a small service up here every Remembrance Sunday. I've been a few times, as I have Great Gable and Great Cars. Wow, some beautiful light down Borrowdale. The small hill right in front of me is High Dort. You get a fantastic view of Castle Crag from High Dort. That's High Scordale, and the gill up there is Riggindale Quarries, and this one in front of us is Low Scordale. Just ahead of us here off the footpath we've got a quarry. Have a look at that on the way back down. We'll continue up through these trees, and here we are, the beautiful little summit of Castle Crag, 290 metres. Look at that view down Derwentwater across to Skidder. Here's the summit, just by the War Memorial. From the summit we're going to head back down into the forest. We'll go and have a look at that little quarry first. Here's that little quarry. It's got a strange little shelter in the middle here. And once we get back down in the bottom here, we've got a bit of a awkward ladder style to get over. I'm going to have to help Billy over it. Once over, ignore that style and stay on this side of the fence. If you wanted to avoid that style altogether, you could have gone back down into the gill the same way we came up. It's more or less going to lead us back round to the same place. Stay with that fence to your right and cross it at this style. Billy's trying to get under. Oh, he's managed. And then drop back down into broad slack gill. Just across the gill there's a route up onto High Spy. See where that slag heap is? There's a cave behind that, very similar to the priest hole. You can scramble your way all the way up that gill. It's all off-piste. I've been up there, so one day we'll do it again and film it. We're going to head out the top of the gill, head down Ling Bank and back down to the River Derwent. Leave the main track here at the end of the fence, drop down into the bottom and head through that gate. It's a little bit swampy just here. Just follow the grassy bank of Lingy Bank and you'll reach this quad bike track. When I drove through, it must have only been about 2 degrees. I was getting a warning of ice on the car, but it's absolutely gorgeous now. Must be at least 15, 18 degrees. Keep plodding down Lingy Bank, cross the stile in the bottom first, and we'll eventually hit the river, where we'll turn left and start heading back towards Grange. Head for the gate in the corner of the field. We're now around the back of Castle Crag, and you can see just ahead of me there's some people on the footpath which runs up to the summit from this side. You would do the walk from Rostwaite through that gate there. We're going to stay on the lower path and head back into the forest. High House Wood. Good lad. Got a little cave here, often sheltered in here when we come down Borrowdale in the rain and have our dinner. Back out and on the path. We've head off the main path again, and we're going to head up to another cave. This one's a little bit more impressive. There's one, but we still have a better one to find higher up. And here we are. This one's Millican Dalton's cave. If you don't know who Millican Dalton is, give him a Google, because he used to live in this cave between the two world wars. I think he died in 1947 at the age of 80. He was a mountaineer and an adventurer. And this is where he lived. I don't think he lived here forever, maybe just in the summer. Once you get into the middle of the cave, it's quite dry. I think this area up here is called the attic. It's where he used to sleep. We're up in the attic now. I think this area of the attic is where Millican used to sleep. Just to the entrance of the attic, there's some words of special significance, because Millican himself wrote them. Don't waste words, jump to conclusions. leave the old boys' cave, head out the attic and back down to our footpath. And what a view old Milligan had. Just look at that. From the cave we'll head back down the same way. We'll leave Low House Wood and head into High House Wood, and then we'll meet the path we set off on this morning back into Grange. By the time we get to the car we'll have done about 5 miles. I hope you enjoyed today's walk and our little detours. Fantastic little hill, Castle Crag, Borrowdale, beautiful in the autumn. If you're going to come down here in the autumn. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from our lad, the Rockstar. There you are! So today's walk starts from Grange in Borrowdale, where we took the Cumbria Way path past Hollows Farm campsite, and then head up into Broadslack Gill. Nearing the end of the gill, we took a left and started to head up to Castle Crag. From the summit of Castle Crag we dropped back down, heading down Lingy Bank back to the River Derwent. We then head into High House Wood, where we then took a detour up to Millican Dalton's cave. Dropping back down to the footpath and into Low House Wood, We then rejoined the Cumbria Way and head back into Grange.